Mistborn Era 3, titled Mistborn Ghostbloods, was announced several months ago to bring the Mistborn world Scadrial into a cyberpunk setting. I have been hyped for this series since the announcement. You all know I love Mistborn Era 1 and 2, plus I'm glad to see authors taking fantasy out of the typical medieval and Renaissance settings and exploring the capabilities of the genre. So when I got an email with an excerpt from Mistborn Ghostbloods, I jumped on it. The email included a sample of 2 different scenes with 2 different POVs that Sanderson read at Worldcon. By now, the excerpts are available to the public on his YouTube channel, and I'll link that down in the description. The first excerpt follows a young terrace woman trying to get into a fan convention without a ticket. First impressions were not good. The chapter was hyper-focused on setting up that it was a cyberpunk world, but without giving it much character. There was a moment where the girl catches her headphone cord on something. It pulled me out so bad. Instead of paying attention to whatever the mists were doing, it had me sitting there contemplating whether a cyberpunk world should have wired headphones or not. I feel like I probably wouldn't have had this reaction if details like this had some kind of weight in the story. For example, maybe she likes wired headphones because of their retro aesthetic, or maybe the music sounds different, or she's clumsy and that's why they got tangled up. But no, they were just tangled. That's it. My other complaint is that she kept talking about getting to an event at the convention, but it was just really vague, which felt a bit cheap. If Sanderson was holding back details for spoilers, fine. I approve, actually. But if not, this lack of detail was a general letdown for me. It feels cheap when a character keeps mentioning something but not actually telling you what it is. All right, deep dives. The first thing I want to talk about is a redacted name. And since Sanderson didn't say the name, I want to be respectful and not name names either. But it sounds like Avon, I think that's how you say her name, that she believes herself to be related to someone of legend, which makes me think Era 1. And the fact that she is Terrace really narrows down the options. If my calculated guess is correct, I'm pretty excited about how that connection might play out in the story. Other than that, the first story didn't really have any big details that stood out to me, but if you've had a chance to check out these sneak peeks, did something stand out to you? Let me know down in the comments. The second point of view is following a man interacting with his child until a car passes over them. He tells the kid to go play, then has a cryptic and intriguing conversation with his wife about the visitor. I really struggle with kids in adult stories. They always seem so forced. Like, it's as if I'm supposed to think they're cute instead of them actually being cute. And once the dad told the kid to go away, I felt like I could actually get into the story. One of the pieces that excites me the most about this point of view is that the family wears masks, which means they are from one of the other continent cultures introduced in Era 2 that I want to learn so much more about. Upon rereading the excerpt, I am much more intrigued by it than I was on first listen. The father and daughter are catching bad beetles and killing them, and the dad is teaching the daughter which ones are good and which ones ruin the crops. It feels really metaphorical, allegorical. I have no idea how this will play out, but it would be really cool if it had some kind of significance with this mysterious visitor. We get a short description of the visitor, that he wears a mask, but that is part of his skin. Super badass visual. The first story was a pretty big letdown for me, but the second excerpt restored my hope in the future of Mistborn. I am going to sit on pins and needles waiting to find out more about the mysterious visitor. What were your reactions to the second story? Let me know down below. I actually created a magic system for a cyberpunk world on this channel. If that's your vibe, head on over to that video and check it out. What, Harry? You're looking for the diadem of Ravenclaw?